What's up, guys? I got me a huge haul. I went out for Free Comic Book Day. Went to a shop, did this. 61 books for $65, I think I spent there. The prices varied. I don't remember what I got, but we went up to an antique mall afterwards. Another stack. They had two vendors. Another stack. Everything's already processed. What's going into the inventory is ready to go into the inventory, and what's going into the collection is ready to just get input into the collection. I spent all day yesterday doing that. So we went Saturday on Free Comic Book Day. Yesterday was Sunday. I did all the documentation, rebag and board in, all that crap, fun. Got it in a CLZ, and now today I got to show it off so I can put it away. It's the quickest I've ever done that. Usually they sit in boxes for a while, but yeah, I wanted to show you guys. I haven't had enough for video in a while, so I wanted to make sure I pop something out. And I forgot about my coffee. So let me pause the video, go get my coffee, get my dog out from outside, and then I'll be back to show off the stacks. So hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so I went up to my old stomping grounds in central New York, Utica, to be exact, is the city. That's where I went to college, guys. If you've been following me since way back, this is the original Honey Hole. This is where I picked up a lot of the greatest stuff I have in my collection at this shop. It's good to know that it's still around. It's not the same people. It's only half of those people, but it's really nice to just know that's still there and that it's kind of like the same. They don't have as many dollar books as they used to. It used to be pretty much all dollar books and then half priced silver, bronze, and keys. And whenever they get golden age, they did have some golden age lying around. Nothing that I was interested in. I think I might eventually start kind of dipping into that, but I really just kind of want to stick to my main superhero titles and getting those runs filled out before I start dipping into something completely crazy for me. Like I collect nothing but Batman. What is happening with my beard right here? That must just be how I slept. I got a patch. Weird. Anyway, maybe it's how the light's hitting me. Weird. Yeah, that's all right. It's gonna get trimmed up today anyway. There we go. All right, that looks a little more symmetrical. All right, sorry. Tangents, but anyway, this is my old honey hole. So we went there first. That was kind of the main plan. I didn't really expect to hit somewhere else. So I ended up finding 61 books, like I said, and I spent $65. So they're running a sale where every book, $9 and under, was $1. So I built a stack. I've worked on a lot of runs at this place, and I found some really cool stuff at the other place. This is great stuff here. But first off, I went with a buddy of mine. He picked up Daredevil 17 for me. He goes to shops a little more often than I do, and I've been missing this book for whatever reason. Wasn't in my DCBS, my first DCBS order, so I've been missing Daredevil 17. So I need that to read. Ozzy, leave the Roomba alone. My dog loves the Roomba. Anyway, he threw this in. He had a double Dynamic Classics #1 featuring Batman and Invaders 39. It's actually really nice, like a 6.5 copy too. So pretty cool. That's nothing I really collect, but I appreciate the freebies, and I will be passing those along. So all right, so we'll start with the book that I didn't spend $1 on, and then we'll go from there, just because it's oversized. I spent $5 on this. This is Marvel Super Special #9 featuring Conan. This is from 1978. It's about a 7.0, which is really nice. It's a John Buscema cover, and it's Conan. It's all color inside. John Buscema did interior artworks on one of the stories. There's another artist in here that I also liked that did one of the stories, and I totally forgot, but I flipped through it when I got it. It's beautiful, beautiful artwork. I just had to have it. I thought, for whatever reason, I thought it was Savage Sword of Conan. I was like, that doesn't look right to me. It wasn't. It was Marvel Super Special, #9. I was like, this looks way too, I don't know. It's not, it didn't feel like a Savage Sword of Conan, so I had to make sure I got that. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so the books that are not in Mylar are books that are going to be in the inventory for my Whatnot channel, which, by the way, I'm still trying to figure out when I'm going to start doing those streams again. I've taken like a week off. I got a new job, so starting tomorrow, I will be on a new job, 8 to 4:30 schedule. So that kind of takes away my midday Tuesday stream, and then I could still do Saturdays, but getting to the post office is gonna suck because they close at 4:45. So I gotta book it from work and make sure I hit there on the way home before. So I think I'm just gonna do Friday nights now. That way I have Saturday to get to the post office. But anyway, we'll worry about that later. I found another Justice League. This is Jim Lee, number 2. I mean, anytime I find these for $1 with beautiful Jim Lee covers, I can easily sell them for $2 usually. I always pick these up when I find them for $1 too. Alex Ross goodness, Justice. This is issue 1. Just look at these covers. That has kind of the Legion of Doom on it. Oh, so cool. Then we have Justice number 3 with a Martian Manhunter. If you know anything about him, this is his weakness, his fire. So it's kind of crazy seeing him all burnt up right there. And then Justice League 12, I believe this is also a villain's cover. Yeah, it's got, oh yeah, I forgot, it's got the gorgeous Poison Ivy on it. Number 12 of Justice. Just really cool books just to have for inventory. I mean, people love Alex Ross and Jim Lee, so I'm excited to have those. Nothing that I really feel like I need to put in my PC. I think if I ever come across a complete like high-grade run of Justice all in one shot, I'll put it in the PC, but I don't feel like piecing together a 12-issue series. But yeah, anyway, I found another Brightest Day, number 4. This is like a 9.6 copy. First Jackson Hyde, Aqualad. It's really not worth much of anything, but it's just a nice key to have on hand for, you know, a couple bucks for somebody who's looking for a cheap key to add to their collection. Jackson Hyde, Brightest Day, number 4, who becomes Aqualad. This is just a cool ass book. John Byrne cover, Superman number 9, the Superman Joker cover. Nothing crazy about that. Just a really cool book to have for anybody who collects Joker covers. These are cool to find for $1. They're not like 9.8s, but they're probably 9.0 copies. But this is Supergirl number 16, the Art Jerem variant. Gorgeous. This is definitely more than $1 book. Same with this one, number 18. This one is wow, one of the best covers I've seen. I'm really tempted to keep some of these Art Germ Supergirl stuff, but with all the stuff I'm keeping from the haul, you gotta make cuts and make some cash back. That's kind of my goal here, is kind of fund my own hobby with, you know, some of this stuff. This was a cool book also for, let's move that back. That's probably one of the cooler ones. Superman 204, classic Jim Lee cover, you know, the other side to that Batman second print. Then we have Superman 697. This is just it's a nice crypto cover. Crypto's kind of hot right now. That's pretty much all the reason why I got that. And then along those lines, I also picked up an Action Comics 871. I couldn't find the other side of this connecting cover, but it is Alex Ross, and we got the nice crypto on the front there. So pretty happy to have that for the PC, or not for the PC, for just to have. Let's go. I'm kind of trying to want to organize this. I want to kind of show the two bigger things that I found for the store there. I do have some G.I. Joe fans that pop up once in a while. This is a nice David Beck cover of G.I. Joe Frontlines number 4. And then G.I. Joe Frontlines number 13, Francis Manapul cover. So I just picked them up because they're cool covers, and I know I have some G.I. Joe fans. So if I get stuck with them, at least they're pretty to look at. I'm always, you know, I never turn down cheap Uncannies, especially Newsies. 226 Mark Silvestri cover, newsstand. We got a 214 with a Barry Windsor Smith cover, and this is actually a key. This is when Dazzler joins the X-Men, so that's pretty cool. And then 187 with John Romita Jr. cover. I didn't write the years down, but they're all pretty nice. This one's not a newsie, but I don't remember what year this is. It may not even matter if it's a newsie. About 85 is about where newsies start to become actually prevalent. I found this cool. I have some of this series already in my inventory, so I figured maybe if I can put them with a beautiful Doom cover that I can, sell easily. This is Deathlock number 3 from his first ongoing. He had a mini series before this, but this is his first ongoing. This is a Dennis Cohen cover, it's gorgeous. Don't really know much about that guy. Get back on the Alex Ross kick. Cap number 1 for $1. I easily can get $2 for this. This is a 9.4 or better copy. Alex Ross cover. This is gorgeous. I flirted with picking this up, but if this was a trading card, 100% would be my PC. I PC Mary Jane cards. This is one of the females that I like to pick up. Her and Scarlet Witch. Anyway, Mary Jane, the Amazing Mary Jane number 1 art germ cover here with her little pistol, and it's gorgeous. I was very tempted to keep it. Art Germ is one of those guys that I absolutely love his covers, but they sell so well that I can't functionally make the decision to keep them ever. This one was a really cool book to find. This is DC Heroes, Secret Files and Origins, number 1. You know why this is cool? It does have a preview of Stars and Stripes. Not for my PC. I want a nice, this is about a 9.2. I want a 9.8 contender if I'm going to keep one. But this is the first published Jeff Johns artwork, or not artwork, writing in DC. And I think in the industry, actually. So this is the first time Jeff Johns was published as a comic book writer. So I think that's pretty cool. And the fact that it has the preview of Stars and Stripes, which is the preview of Stargirl, she's later called Stargirl. So that's pretty big first appearance. So I found that for $1, so I'm pretty stoked. Next up, this book was sick. I had to do some research and compare signatures, but I am 100% certain this is legit. For $1 freaking dollar, I paid this lady $50 to sign my picture. But for $1, I found this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 77 with this crazy, stupid cover that doesn't make any sense, but Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Ranger, signed it. That is a legit signature. It does look kind of crazy because it says Kimber, like she gets really fast there at the end. She misses the E, L, and the Y. But if you look up similar signatures, you can tell when she's going fast, she constantly misses that. So it's legit. Her signature matches the the quick sigs that she does now with the L's, the 2 J's, the A. It doesn't match her old signature. So if you're looking up the older signatures, she used to spell out Johnson a little bit more. But nowadays, she just kind of puts a J, J, L there or something. I don't know why there's an L, but yeah, that's freaking awesome. Amy Jo Johnson signature. I already have one. It's addressed to me. That one that'll be buried with me or end up with my nieces and nephews. But $1, I couldn't keep that. I couldn't leave that there. I flirted with keeping it just because it's so random. Such a random signature to have on this book. There's no Pink Ranger in sight other than the fact that it says Mighty Morphin Power Rangers up here. That's the only affiliation that she'd have whatsoever with the cover of this book. By the way, it's Power Rangers number 11. This is just the legacy numbering variant. So basically at issue 52, I believe, the main Mighty Morphin Power Rangers titles split into Mighty Morphin and then Power Rangers. So Mighty Morphin followed, I believe, the team on Earth, which was the second series Mighty Morphin. So Rocky, Adam, Aisha, Tommy, Kimberly, and Billy. And then you had the Omega Rangers, who were the original 3, Jason, Zach, and Trini, the original 3, who ended up going out into space and becoming the Omega Rangers. Instead of the Peace Conference, it's kind of like they rewrote them leaving the team and then made it basically them becoming different kinds of Power Rangers. So they were all still Power Rangers at the time. But anyway, that's what I picked up for the inventory. I think I should have no problem making a lot of my cash back and being able to keep all these books for free. This is a slight upgrade to a copy I already have. I'm just going to keep them both because you never know what's going to happen with this book. Justice League Dark, #1. Pretty stoked. $1, $1 getting this book. 7.5. I have a 6.5 upstairs. So slowly chipping away at hopefully getting a nice crispy copy of this book. This is really important just because it's the first team appearance. It's got a beautiful Ryan Sook cover, and then inside is Mikhail Janin artwork. So you can't really go wrong with that. I loved reading this story when I read it back in the day. So I'm really happy to just add another one to the collection. Because you never know what's going to happen, and it's nice to just have the ammo. And the PC is something you like. If I have multiple copies of that, maybe one day it blows up, I can trade them for something better, and then keep the nicest one for myself. Next up, a lot of this is just gonna be run fillers for me, guys. I've been working on runs. So I picked up some Batman Adventures. I don't really pick this up very often. I love the cartoon books, man. I don't know why. It's something I've grown into. I used to just scoff at them when I first started collecting. I was like, oh, it's just a cartoon book. It's not important, but I love it. I got over it. Batman Adventures 23, just a gorgeous Poison Ivy cover. I know Burchett does a lot of the inks on these covers, and this is kind of his style. But the pencils are usually done by somebody else, but gorgeous. Picked up number 30. This is a white cover, and it's just gorgeous. I had a 9.2, which is crazy. Burchett actually did the pencils and the inks on this cover. Number 31 with Anarchy. I don't remember him being in the cartoon, so 94. I'll have to rewatch. Is that with Robin though? So that would have been later seasons. Batman Adventures 34. Just beautiful books here. They're all very high grade too, between 8.5s and 9.4s, which is for cartoon books is hard to find. This is 35. And then the coolest book that I was happy to find was the last issue, which is 36. It ran 3 years. And then they switched off into Batman and Robin Adventures, which went for a couple years. And then they switched off into Batman Gotham Adventures, which I don't have Batman and Robin Adventures, but I did find an issue of Gotham Adventures, which also features my boy Nightwing. And this is number 11. We got Riddler beating the shit out of Batman and Nightwing flying in for the rescue. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. All right. If you've been following me recently, you know that I've started slowly but surely buying Punisher books. I kind of want to just take my time with it. I don't want to overpay just to fill in the run. Right? I found a ton of $2 Punishers that I could have picked up that I just left. I picked up this beautiful issue 5 with the Potts Lee cover here, newsstand. Number 3 of Punisher War Journal. Number 4, Punisher World Journal. Again, Newsy. Happy to have it. So happy to have the Newsies. If I can get Newsies, happy. But if not, they better be at least 9.0s, and this is a 9.0. Number 3, Punisher War Journal. Just gorgeous artwork on the Punisher War Journal. I think I prefer the Punisher series just because it's just the Punisher. But when it comes to artwork and stuff, Punisher War Journal is probably where it's at, to be honest. All right. I haven't found these books in years. This collection of mine has sat on standby, as you've heard from last video. But I picked up a ton of New Teen Titans again. I found annual number 3, which is just a gorgeous cover. Who did this? O'Connell. And this is the first appearance of Danny Chase, who later becomes Phantom. I'm guessing that has something to do with Adrian Chase, right? Same name. New Teen Titans, annual number 1. These are from volume 2, by the way, the 1984 series, when the original Teen Titans ends up becoming Tales of the Teen Titans, and then they come out with this as a second title. So they're basically running 2 Titan stories. But yeah, annual number 1, this is the first appearance of Vanguard, which is, I don't really know much about them, but I think it's something to do with this alien dude. But yeah, so that's cool. I haven't read up to this point yet, so slowly but surely working my way through the trade paperbacks. But anyway, in reverse order, we found the New Titans, which the New Teen Titans ends up, that first series ends up being renamed again to the New Titans, I think at issue 50. So it ran 49 issues under the New Teen Titans garb, and then it switched to the New Titans. So confusing. Which is cool. It's fine. At least I understand the numbering now. That's about an 8.0 copy of 53. Nothing crazy. 42, we'll go fast. Barretto doing a lot of the covers on these. There's a couple of, I think there's a George Perez or two mixed in here. Maybe not. 36, this is the first appearance of Wildebeest, who later, I believe he's a bigger character on the Team Titans, which comes out later. And then issue 12, yeah, no Perez covers actually in this stack. I feel like I have a couple Perez covers around here though, we'll see. All right, next up, I don't find issues of this for a while, and then all of a sudden they're popping up everywhere. But this is Blackest Night issue 2. I just need issue, I think, 6 now to finish the series, so I just picked it up for $1. Anytime I can find them for $1 to fill in that mini, I will. I also have been picking up Wolverine slowly but surely. This is issue 14. Just gorgeous Kevin Nolan cover. I think this is also Nolan. It is. Number 11. 8.0. Just nice run fillers for the old collection. I also picked up some FFs for the run. Not a ton. Just 4. They had a lot, but they were all ratty. So I picked up the nice copies. So this is a 9.2 Newsy of 383. It's pretty cool. 7. This is only like a 7.5, but 374. It just had the new Fantastic Four versus the Fantastic Four cover. It's just sweet, and I needed it. So this one's a minor key. This is Fantastic Four 310. This is the issue where the Miss Marvel Sharon Ventura becomes She-Thing. So that's pretty cool. 7.5. And a nice Rob Friends cover here on 309. Nice books. All right. So now basically what I worked on the hardest there was my Hulk run. Just filling in some holes, creating new holes, or just making holes smaller, I guess would be, or breaking up holes. Anyway, 734, Dale Keown, 8.5. About a 9.0 copy of 373. Not bad. I found some Newsies with some beautiful Al Milgrom covers. 322 Newsy. I've had this book before. It's only about, these are a little bit lower. This is about 6.5, but it's a Newsy, 320. Happy to have it. But this is where I'm really happy to be paying $1 a piece. We're getting into the Bronze Age Hulks. If I can get these for $1, fill-in runs, it's going to make picking up the more expensive issues a lot easier for me in the long run, knowing that I paid $1 to make the hole that it created. This is a nice 7.0 copy of 269 from March 1982, featuring Al Milgrom's beautiful artwork on the cover and Sabu Sema with the interiors. This is the first appearance of the Hulk Hunters and the first Barit. So, pretty cool. Nothing crazy. This is 268. This is gorgeous. This is actually a Frank Miller cover. About a 7.0. Just stunning. I am so happy to have these books, especially at the price I paid for them. 262, 8.0. This is the kind of stuff that I was picking up my whole career at this store, going when I was back in college. It was my college honey hole, and that's feels like forever ago now. It's almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years next year. Woo, since I graduated. Incredible Hulk 249. Steve Ditko did the cover and the artwork in this, so that's really cool to find for $1. 249. 246. Rick Buckler, another very underrated Bronze Age artist in my opinion. 242. Just nice stuff here. It's about a 7.0. Bob Layton did that cover. 236. Al Milgrom again. Al Milgrom is just such a good Hulk artist. 235. Like, come on, man. We get 40, 35 centers for $1 a piece. All right, all day. 227, and they're all really nice condition too. Like I only picked anything up that was fine or better. And that's about where I like draw the line on Bronze Age. Like I try to like not collect, I guess later Bronze Age, early Bronze Age, I'm okay getting Fijis if they're really nice presenting copies, or huge keys that I can't afford the the better copy of. This is about 6.0. 209. And a good cover. And then this one was really cool to find for $1. This is 177 Hulk versus Warlock cover here, about a 5.5, but this features a Herb Trimpe cover, which is the legendary Hulk artist in my opinion. He's probably my favorite. But yeah, happy to have those. All right, so that's the honey hole. We're at 25 minutes, and then so we finished that. We were there for a couple hours, 2 hours maybe, digging boxes. It's never been a big store, but they've always had enough packed in that you can really flip through. And that's what I found, $1 a piece, like I said, except for that Marvel Super Special. So then we end up going to this antique store. I remember seeing one guy advertising that he has a booth there on Facebook Marketplace. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So we went, and this is all from his booth. And then I didn't realize there was a whole nother booth with comics as well. And there was some more sprinkled throughout the store, just nothing I needed from any of those littler guys that just had maybe one box or, you know, a little stack or a little display of them. But yeah. So these prices change. This isn't all one price, but I picked this up for 50 cents. Superman Adventures, 56. Again, I just buy the cartoon books because I like them. This also has Lobo on it, so I figured whatever. About a 7.5. Not bad. Not bad for the cartoon books. I don't ever really expect to find those in super high grade. You can. They're out there, but it's harder. This was 50 cents. I mean, it's a nice 6.0 copy of Supervillain Teen-Up 16. I wasn't going to leave it behind. It was 50 cents. I got 17 to go with it. And now we're getting up into some dollar books. We have Superman Man of Steel 105. This is just part of the Emperor Joker storyline. I'm missing 104 and I think another book. I'm missing like 2 books from this story arc. I'm just trying to collect the story arcs that I like from Superman. I don't really care about collecting all the series anymore. I used to collect it like crazy. I sold a ton of it. But yeah, I was going for all the Batmans, all the Supermans. Like, I gotta pick one. Like, Action and Superman are such long runs. I would just fill my house with Batman and Superman trying to do that. I'll stick with Batman, and I'll just pick up the Supermans I like. So 105, just it's got a nice Batman cover on it as well. Kano doing the cover. It's just part of the Emperor Joker storyline, so I had to pick it up. There we go. I can sort this as I go. All right, cool. Yeah, those are all for me. Anything in a Mylar goes into my PC. Anything that's not in a Mylar goes into the other, into my for sale stuff. I found this, Justice League Adventures 2. This was only $1. I just love the cover. I love the cartoon books. There you go. Nice. I wish this was in slightly better condition, but I only paid $1 for it. And this is a Teen Titans 37. My other copy is in my store right now. I picked out some keys to have for wall books, and it made the cut. And I found another one for $1. This is about a 7.5 though, but this is the first appearance of Miss Martian, who is very, very important to the Young Justice storyline. And I'm really happy to have this. A lot of glare on the Mylars. I flirted with keeping this just because I absolutely love Darwin Cook, but this is the Flash 37 Darwin Cook variant. For $1, about a 9.2 as well. I figured it'd be great to have in the store. And again, I can't keep everything, so I did keep more than I didn't in this haul, so we'll keep going. For $1, I found this as well. 52, week 7, about an 8.5. First Kate Kane, who later becomes Batwoman, a few issues later. I think it's 11, so 4 issues later. Yeah, I find that book all the time. I have like 3 copies in my PC, so that one's for sale. Some Michael Turner goodness. I found the Fathom swimsuit special from 2000. This just has a bunch of pinups. Well, not pinups, I guess. Artwork from, there are some you could rip out and pin up, but this just has tons of artwork from tons of really good artists in it, featuring a lot of Michael Turner, but Ron Garney has a pinup in here. Gary Frank, Pat Lee, Mark Silvestri. I'm trying to think. There's another couple other big names in there, but yeah, it's just beautiful artwork of these characters. Somebody's gonna want that. And then this book, I thought it was just a random book, but I grabbed it. Fathom #0, Michael Turner. I love Michael Turner. I don't care about Fathom though. This book actually can go for like $15. I paid $1 for it. I don't know who would pay that, but I'm hoping to get like $5 for it. Anyway, that's cool. Fathom #0. I found these gorgeous Mark Brooke covers. I do collect Captain Marvel. I don't have these in my PC, so I'm kind of tempted to potentially keep them. But Captain Marvel 10 for now. They'll go on the PC. If nobody buys, not in the PC. They'll go in the inventory. If nobody buys them, then eventually they might make it out to the PC. But I think they'll go quick. This is Captain Marvel, Mark Brooks cover. Gorgeous. And then number 11 is actually the one that I like the most. It's just, she's ripping off the green costume, the new costumes underneath. It's just absolutely stunning covers. Wow. I picked this up kind of for speculation. I thought about keeping it. This is the George Perez cover. This is Raven the Bold, number 4. I saw a G-Dub pick this up, and I found it, so for $1, I was like, yeah, screw it, I'll spec on it too. But this is a beautiful George Perez cover here, and he does the interiors as well with Mark Waid writing. Supergirl and Lobo, this is their second meeting. The first meeting happens in issue 3, but I think this is their first meeting, and I think they team up, so it must be their first team up as well. So they're spec on this with the DC universe. With Supergirl and Lobo both being in that universe. So, you never know what could happen. I found this. It's not super high grade. It's only like an 8.5. I wish it was like a near mint copy, but this is Wonder Girl 5, Jenny Frison cover. I just got it because it's Jenny Frison. Speaking of low grade, I paid $1 for this as well. I got it in a 5.0, but Catwoman 59, Adam Hughes cover. It was $1. It took a chance. It is what it is. I found a couple dollar bin scores of Fantastic Four books I needed. 322. They're both Newsies as well, so I was happy to get them. It's only about a 7.5, so nothing crazy condition-wise, but it's a Newsie and it fills a hole. So 322. And they're not keys, so I don't really care about having them super high grade. This is about an 8.5. And this one has that really nice platinum chromium cover, I think is what it said it was, but it's a Newsie as well. This is Paul Ryan doing the cover here. Who did the cover on the other one? It was Rob Friends. Newsie. Pretty much it. This is a cool book. I bought this book multiple times for $1 or $2, and I found it for $2, and I've sold it for as high as 30 and for as low as 15. Flash Secret Files and Origins number 3, the first appearance of Hunter Zolomon. That's going to be in the store. I don't know if I'm going to do it as a wall book or if I'm going to just auction it at some point. But yeah, first Hunter Zolomon, later becomes the 3rd Reverse Flash. Pretty cool. $2, I found a couple nice Adam Hughes, $2 a piece. It's only about a 7.5 though, so that sucks. But Wonder Woman 177, Adam Hughes. And Wonder Woman 167, Adam Hughes. So really happy to this is the Gods of Gotham storyline. Really happy to have these for the store. Just gorgeous Adam Hughes artwork. And then this one I contemplated having for the store, but once I started looking at it, it is a nicer copy than the one I own, and I'm always happy to have 2 copies of some of my favorite Bat books in my collection. So this is about a 9.2 copy of, I paid up, it's $5, which I'll pay all day because I know you can get these on eBay for anywhere from 10 to 30. So $5 for a nice 9.2 copy of Batman 612, featuring the Batman Superman fight in the Hush story, as well as this iconic Jim Lee cover. Just super, super stoked to have it. I wish it was the second print, but we'll take it for $5. Upgrades the one I have. Yeah, absolutely stoked to have that. All right, so that's that. Do the math there. That's like, what, $25 maybe, I bet? And then we went to one more vendor, and I picked up some really cool books for the PC and some really cool books for the inventory. for $2 a piece, guys. Just remember, $2 a piece. I found tons of West Coast Avengers in these bins. I collect West Coast Avengers, not at $2 a piece. However, if I do find the keys for $2 a piece, I will pick them up. I couldn't find 45. I couldn't find 46, which is Great Lake Avengers, but I did find 62. There's a 44 there. I should have picked it up, but this is 62. This is the first appearance of the Timekeepers. It's a newsie, which is nice. It's only about a 7.5 though, so I think I could probably get $5 out of this. So double my money. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Pretty happy to have found this. It was the last book I found. I went through the last box. They were within 5 minutes of closing. I went through every box meticulously. There's a lot that I left behind because I was short on cash by the time we got to this vendor. But I picked out what I thought were the best books for $2 a piece. There's that New Teen Titans kick. I don't find this series for years, and all of a sudden I find it everywhere. Number 21, the first appearance of Brother Blood. This can go for $15 or so. This one is only about a 7.0, so I'm hoping to get $5 to $10 out of it. But still pretty cool. Nice first appearance of Brother Blood, who's a very important Teen Titans villain. Sebastian Blood. Another very important first appearance. It's also a newsstand, which honestly doesn't really matter this time. But 8.0 copy of New Teen Titans 26, the first appearance of Terra, who's a very important hero in the New Teen Titans. $2 a piece. These were $2 a piece. I couldn't believe them. They go for 10 to 15 each. This is Amazing Spider-Man 796, the comic exposure exclusive Clayton Crane variant. So it's Clayton Crane. I flirted with keeping these. I really wanted to, but I gotta recoup my cash. I kept a lot out of this haul. I need to get, I need to pay for my books. I'll come if I ever come across them again. 100% buy at least this one. This is gorgeous. Got Green Goblin in the background, the New York City skyline on the top of the Daily Beagle with Venom versus Spider-Man. Clayton Crane doing it, no less. That's absolutely stunning to me. $7.97. If I didn't have a copy of this book in my collection already, this would be the copy that goes in. But I don't feel like digging through my boxes, pulling out my doubles, and then sticking these in there. It's not worth it to me. I'm just gonna flip them. But woo, turn. Anyway, absolutely stunned with that. And now I picked up 4 really nice books for my collection. To be honest, they all but one have double backer boards, which means they're all keys. In some fashion. So we'll start with the Marvel book, The Last 3 are DC. For $2, which is probably, it's not like crazy, but some people like to up the price on this book. Like $2 is probably what it's worth, honestly. But I was happy to find it because I usually find it jacked up. Like it's like a $5, $10 book. But this is Punisher 75. There's nothing really important about it other than it's just a really nice Steve Geiger cover. With the chrome and the blood on the blade and Punisher kind of in the shadow here with his blade all shiny. It's just a really nice cover. It's about a 7.5 copy. I was really happy to just add it to my collection. That's pretty much all. I'm just happy to find it. I see it all the time. I've always wanted this cover since I started collecting Punisher, and now I have it. All right, that's it. Nothing crazy about that. The next 3 are actual keys. Do they go for a lot? Not really. The last one goes for quite a bit sometimes. It was really hot a couple years ago. I didn't have it then. I had another issue that's also important for this character. But anyway, I picked up the Huntress #1. This is a newsie. It's about an 8.5 copy, which I'm super happy to have in about that condition for $2. But this is Huntress #1, and if you don't know, this is actually the first appearance of Huntress as we know her, Helena Bertinelli. Before that, Huntress was an Earth 2 character who was the daughter of Catwoman and Batman, Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne. But this is the first mainstream Huntress, so I have to have it. I have the first appearance of all the Batgirls. I have the first appearance of Helena Bertinelli as Batgirl. So I just needed to make sure. And I have 2 copies of the first ever Huntress, the DC Superhero Spectacular or something, whatever, 17. I don't remember what stupid title it's in, but yeah, I have 2 copies of that. And I did none of this, and I've been looking for this book forever. I find it all the goddamn time, either overpriced or ratty. And this was nice, perfect price. So happy to have it. Newsy. Perfect. Good things come to those that wait. This is honestly was the last major key I needed for my new Teen Titans run. $2. It's not. I'm sure people find this book for $1 or $2 often, but I don't. I usually see it on walls or in the key boxes for, you know, a lot of money, and I refused. I knew I was going to find it for $2 or less at some point, and I did. $2, 8.0 copy. New Teen Titans, Volume 1, Annual 2. So this is from 1983. It's Wolfman and Perez. Perez did the cover. Absolutely gorgeous. This is really, really important to most people because it's when Adrian Chase becomes vigilante. For me, it is also the first appearance of Cheshire, who is just one of my favorite villains of the Teen Titans. She also ends up, she kind of becomes like an anti-hero. She kind of flirts with her morals and stuff at some time throughout life. She also ends up having a baby with Roy Harper. So pretty cool. So yeah, I'm really happy to have this in the collection. It's about an 8.0, so perfect for me. In the Mylar, it looks gorgeous. But yeah, so I'm really happy to find that. I needed that for the Teen Titans collection. Last, and certainly not least, for $2, I had to press it. There was a nice dimple on it that I got. I mostly got it out. You can see where it was, but it doesn't feel all dimply anymore. You can only see it if it's out of the bag. Oh, no, there it is. But anyway, it's like a 7.5, but for $2, I needed it for the PC. This is Infinite Crisis number 3, featuring a gorgeous Jim Lee cover here with Batman and Superman. And I'm guessing, I didn't read the story. I didn't read Infinite Crisis. I haven't traded upstairs. I feel bad. But it looks like probably Batman traveled to a different Earth because, or not, maybe not. I don't know. That's an old Superman with, it looks almost like Alfred, but I think it's supposed to be Bruce. Yeah, it is. It's Bruce, Catwoman with a baby, so it must be Helena Wayne. But anyway, yeah, this is really important because it's the first appearance of Jaime Reyes. Who in issue 5, which I have the Jim Lee cover, and then I also have, no, I don't have the Jim Lee, I have the George Perez cover, I think. Whoever did the cover with Blue Beetle on it, I have that, and then I have the second print of the Jim Lee sketch variant to that issue. So I had to add this, and then I'll probably eventually, if I find them in dollar bins, fill in the rest of the Infinite Crisis run. But happy to have it. First appearance of Blue Beetle. I think I crushed it at these sales. No, I didn't find any $200 books for $1, but I found lots of $5 to $10 to $20 books for $1 a piece. And I filled in some runs. I got some keys for myself, and then I was able to find enough that I think I'll be able to have a nice sale with on my Whatnot channel, and we'll be able to recoup some of those funds. So going forward, Whatnot will no longer be on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I will be trying to do at least one show a week. I got to keep it going. It's been doing well. I usually have hit or miss shows though. So one week I'll crush it. Like my Defender show was awesome. I made $180 or something. And then I did an all Avengers show and I had nobody show up. And then I sold all the run filler to one guy for $1 a piece, which is cool. I still end up making $40, but sucks that nobody popped in and I couldn't get the keys gone. So I have all the keys still, so they'll end up on my wall. Let's buy it now. Those are best offers. But yeah, fucking stoked, guys. Sorry for the French, but if you made it this long, you're waiting for me to swear. But yeah, 44 minutes, guys. If anybody is still watching, I appreciate you so much. Please like, subscribe, comment. Stick around. I don't know how often I'll be making videos, but every time I have a haul, I will make a video. I promise. I also kind of want to go through my collection, but save that talk for another day. Hopefully, you all had a great May 4th, a great Free Comic Book Day on May 3rd, and today, your Revenge of the 5th. Make sure you're watching Star Wars, guys. It's a national treasure. I absolutely love Star Wars. I wanted to do a Star Wars Whatnot show, but that's besides the point. Anyway, thanks so much, guys, for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out there. I'm watching all sorts of videos all the time. I don't comment because I watch on my TV, and it's really hard to comment from my TV. So, yeah. Thanks so much, guys, and hopefully I don't bore you too much. And I'll talk to you guys later. 45 minutes in. Peace.